So today we're going to be talking about patterns and sequences. And you guys have been looking at patterns since elementary school, number patterns. Today we just want to talk about a couple of specific ones. For starters, let's start with some vocabulary. A sequence is the math word that we use for a set of numbers that follow a pattern. A set of numbers that follow a pattern. So get used to, instead of me calling it number patterns, calling it a sequence. So a set of numbers that follow a pattern. Alright, so there's our first vocabulary word. So we have a sequence. Now, within a sequence, those numbers in the sequence, we call them terms. So each number in the sequence is called a term. And then we also have some specific types of sequences that we talk about. So we said that a term is a number in a sequence. All right. And then today specifically we want to talk about two specific types of sequences. The first one is an arithmetic sequence. Okay, so we've got an arithmetic sequence, and the other one is a geometric sequence. And don't get too excited, just because it says geometric does not mean that there are shapes involved, but we're still dealing with numbers. So we have an arithmetic sequence and a geometric sequence. An arithmetic sequence is if a number pattern is based on adding the same number every time. Adding the same number every time. Alright, so if it was something like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, etc., etc., etc. Alright? If this is our sequence, we would say this is an arithmetic sequence, because notice each time the only difference between the numbers is that we have added 2 to the number in front of it. We're adding 2 over and over and over again. And so that makes this an arithmetic sequence. Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Now, don't be confused by a sequence like this. 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, etc., etc., etc. It's going down. And it looks like we're subtracting 3 each time. That is still an arithmetic sequence, because subtracting 3 is the same thing as adding -3. So even if you're going down, by the same amount every time, you're just adding a negative number. So this would be adding -3, but it's still an arithmetic sequence. We're changing by the same amount every time. Subtracting 3, subtracting 3, subtracting 3. That still falls into the arithmetic sequence. Okay, those are pretty simple little patterns. Now, a geometric sequence is different. Arithmetic is adding by the same number every time. Geometric sequence is if we multiply by the same number every time. Multiply by the same number every time. Now, it has to be the same number. Alright, so if I have something like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, etc., etc., etc. That would be a geometric sequence, because each time we have multiplied the previous number by 2. So times 2, times 2, times 2, etc., etc., etc. Every time we've multiplied by the same number. It can never be a different number. If it's going to be a geometric sequence, it has to be the same number every time. Also, same idea, the numbers could be getting smaller. Okay? If we have something like 50, 10, 2, 2/5, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Notice that I'm getting smaller by the same amount each time. 50 divided by 5 is 10. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 2 divided by 5 is 2/5. So I'm dividing by the same number every time, that's still a geometric sequence because dividing by a number is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal. So this is the same thing as multiplying by 1/5. All right? So even though we're like, well, that's not multiplying, we're dividing by 5 every time. We really are multiplying. We're multiplying by 1/5 every time. So times 1/5 times 1/5. So if you notice that it's dividing by the same number every time or multiplying by the same number every time, it still falls into that geometric sequence category. All right. So a couple of quick vocabulary words to go on top of this. In an arithmetic sequence, we're adding the same number every time. That number that we're adding is called the common difference. It's the number that's getting added each time. It's the difference between all of the numbers. It's what they all have in common. They're the same distance apart. So the common difference is that number that we're adding every time. So our terms were 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, etc. And the common difference was 2. In a geometric sequence, our terms in this one were 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, etc., etc., etc. But we call this the common ratio. Okay? So sometimes you may be asked to find a specific term. They may give you a pattern and then say something along the lines of, find the 10th term in the sequence, or find the next 5 terms in the sequence. And so you just have to keep continuing the pattern to find that. If they ask you to find the common difference, what they're asking you for is to say, what is that number that we're adding every time? Or if they ask you to find the common ratio, what is the number that we are multiplying by every time? So make sure that you just pay attention to whatever a question is asking you. Sometimes they're asking you to identify what kind of sequence is this. Is it an arithmetic sequence? Are we adding the same thing every time? Is it a geometric sequence? Are we multiplying by the same thing every time? There are other types of sequences as well, and we're not learning those yet. So if it's not adding the same thing every time or multiplying the same thing every time, then we just say that it's neither. Okay? And so these are the types of questions that you're going to run into with patterns and sequences.